What is good, kind of people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bobbalam turning in my pitch for the XXL Freshman 10th spot vote, so make sure to go to xxl.com/vote for Bob's long hot dog dash no condiments if you a real Bob Gang member. But in today's video, I will be giving my 2020 XXL Freshman list prediction based on who I think has the most potential in the rap game, as well as by factoring in what type of group XXL typically chooses, because XXL just posted their poll for fans to vote who will take the notorious last 10th spot. But before we get into the list, Bob Gang featured comment of the day is from ZDarkness5919, who said, "Finish the song.
You know I'm ballin', usual like Kobe.
Don't worry about my girl, that's my homie." But back to the topic, 2020 XXL Freshman prediction. Let's talk about it. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to set some foundational criteria so I'm not entirely picking just who I like. For things like this, I used to look up all their streaming numbers and compare to see who is actually the biggest and most popular artist where it counts in music, rather than who does the crazy stunts and whatever these rappers do on social media nowadays, like smoke crack on a plane. However, to make it easier and, well, more likely in XXL's standards, my first parameter will be looking at their social media followers and engagement. More specifically, I will be taking into account if any of their songs were trending on TikTok, because that's the next shift in music for better or worse, and honestly a much stronger indicator of how poppin' they are as an artist nowadays. Labels are already seeking out artists who have a TikTok song because it's become the biggest social media platform for discovering music other than maybe YouTube, with over 1.5 billion users at this point in time. Plus, with a large proportion of its users being aged 8 to 16, not only is Drake using a TikTok bot to DM all of them individually, but also this means that whatever trends this demographic attaches itself to will be the future. And what XXL attempts to accomplish with the freshman list each year is essentially a prediction in itself of who will be the biggest rappers in the following years. But aside from all that boring stuff, let's actually get into the list now. After a quick research tangent allowing me to choose my list, I already know y'all are gonna shit on me, but that's okay. Remember, I'm trying to be as objective as possible based on numbers here, and most hip-hop listeners are actually little suburban white kids who spend all their free time during quarantine trying to learn TikTok dances. And that's not being racist, because that's low-key me. But number one is Tokyo's Revenge, who currently has 155,000 followers on Instagram without any posts, which should confirm what I was telling y'all about before, that TikTok is going to become the go-to platform for artists to market their music, whether they post themselves or they get influencers to start a trend for them. 155,000 followers is a feat already, but still gaining followers without even posting means he's got a huge dedicated fan base, which he coincidentally accumulated via TikTok through the "My Name is Tokyo" trend coming from his song Good Morning Tokyo, with over 77 million streams on Spotify alone. His song Thought also gained some traction on TikTok as well, accruing him over 17 million streams on Spotify. I can only see him repeating the process of creating TikTok trending songs due to the lighthearted and unique nature in his music, therefore I give him like a 60% chance of being on the list.
I got black, I got white, what you want?
Number two is Lil Tecca, who at this point I thought would be too big for the XXL list. However, he's kind of slowed down a bit after the Ransom buzz. I'm not taking anything away from Tecca though, cause his album We Love You Tecca was full of hits, but the mainstream didn't pick it up as much as his first hit single from Ransom. Many of us were introduced to Tecca from the Lyrical Lemonade YouTube channel's music video, which he has continued to feature on, gaining him, in my eyes, at least a reputation of a YouTube rapper, similar to say an NBA YoungBoy who drops visuals almost as often as they drop music. Again, Tecca trended on TikTok for quite some time with Ransom, and the "I got black, I got white, what you want" trend earned him like a 90% chance of being on the XXL Freshman 2020 list. Number three is NLE Choppa, who infamously dropped 45 versions of the same song and somehow they all popped off. Nah, I'm joking, but he released more shot of flows than I could keep up with. Nonetheless, Choppa probably has one of the highest chances of being on the freshman list because of his constant relevance on YouTube and TikTok trends, being yet another soldier of the Lyrical Lemonade army. One concern I had though was that a large portion of the TikTok trend for shot of flow was the Blueface feature, causing me to think his music could run stale and he may have to rely on features later on if he doesn't test waters in new sounds. Lastly, there are rumors that he has herpes since he is now dating one of NBA YoungBoy's ex-girlfriends. Take that info however you want, but maybe YoungBoy's herpes are a blessing in disguise and the reason that every kid with a PS4 listens to his music 24/7 while they play Viva Pinata.
Yeah, I call a bro, he said he ready for the same.
Number 4 will be either Polo G or Lil Tjay, who came up together with their joint single Pop Out, accumulating over 300 million streams on Spotify at the time of this recording. They've both made hella waves in the music scene, with their 2019 projects unexpectedly remaining on the Hot 200 Billboard, still with little to no promo. Their music doesn't necessarily resonate with the TikTok audience, or at least have a vibe that allows for skits to play off the lyrics, so they're rarely seen on the app. However, they still perform well on all streaming platforms with a very similar dedicated audience. Not to mention, they were already contenders for the 2019 XXL Freshman list and only didn't make it by a small margin. I couldn't see both Tjay and Polo G making the list because they're such similar artists when it comes to their fan bases, and XXL tries to pick the most diverse group to gain the most subscribers for their magazine, but it helps Tjay a lot that he is from New York, where the headquarters for XXL is located.
Bitch sit on my face, I attack that.
Number 5 is Baby Keem, who we found out is actually Kendrick Lamar's cousin and started out as a producer, with some of his work even being featured on the Black Panther soundtrack, but he came out as a rapper shortly after, and he's been killing it with songs such as Orange Soda that accomplished every upcoming artist's goal of having a trending song on TikTok. Keem has one of the most unique sounds on the list, with a West Coast bounce to it, all while producing most of his tracks and having a cool black and white / retro aesthetic to his videos. I give him a 75% chance of being on the list. It would be a huge look for him, as I still think he's super underrated. Number 6 is Don Tolliver, who I think has one of the highest chances out of all the rappers on the list as well to be a XXL freshman, as he has been groomed for well over a year by Travis Scott and Cactus Jack Records. He was introduced to the world with his unannounced feature on Can't Say from Astroworld and slowly grew from there, and now finally gaining his deserved exposure via his songs No Idea, once again from the help of TikTok and the I Feel Like I Do Too Much trend. Travis Scott's Jack Boys album last year can also be considered a catalyst for Don Tolliver's career, as this released around the same time as the No Idea TikTok trend. Don Tolliver recently released his debut studio album Heaven or Hell that sold over 40,000 units first week, easily solidifying his place as a mainstream artist in hip-hop, as most artists don't even come close to those numbers. And his first week sales were all during the Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World 2 hype.
Keep it juicy, juicy.
Number 7 is Dojo Cat, who has been killing it for the past year after her I'm a Cow song blew up and became a meme. I've heard some people even say she might be too big for XXL at this point, so they need to cut her a check fatter than her booty cheeks if they want her on the freshman list, because she does not need it whatsoever. Every underage suburban girl is twerking on TikTok to her countless top charting songs with the likes of Tyga and Gucci Mane. I would barely even call her a rapper now because she's so pop, but either way, she has a 100% chance of being on the list. That is if she doesn't turn it down. It also doesn't hurt that she's a woman, and XXL usually features one every single year. Number 8 is Lil Keat, who gained traction with the help of Young Thug and his blood cousin Lil Got It, who I believe he has surpassed due to his many more hits. Although Got It is doing his thing, but similar to Polo G and Tjay, I can't see XXL choosing both since they have such similar fan bases. But Lil Keat is another artist who has bathed in the success of TikTok, from his It's Up freestyle that has become my favorite anthem to walk into any place naked confidently. Sadly, quarantine life doesn't let me do that anymore, so I have to flash everyone from my balcony as they walk by. But with 4 of his songs that he's been involved in as a collab, feature, or even a solo song accumulating over 20 million streams, it would be hard to imagine a XXL list without Keat. I also give him a 75% chance of being on the list. Number 9 is 24K Golden, who in my opinion will be the 24 karat golden child of the XXL list this year, with mega hit Valentino that we all know the words to, whether we consented to memorizing it or not, due to it being played everywhere, not just TikTok. Even Grams was playing Valentino when she was rubbing talcum powder on her butt flaps in the bathroom. But 24K Golden has followed up the smash hit with City of Angels that's gaining steam as we speak, especially on TikTok and YouTube, sounding like the pop punk type rock music we listened to back in the 2000s. He's been addressed as an industry plant due to the very little music he's had out before Valentino's success, but even if he is, that just increases his chance of further success, as well as being chosen for the XXL freshman list, because they're all part of the system for industry plants as well.
What's poppin'?
Number 10, Jack Harlow, who y'all have probably heard a lot about on this channel due to his beef with Lil Uzi Vert throughout the whole Eternal Take era, but apparently they have amends whatever issues they had. Uzi's probably just happy that he has new management and can drop music whenever he wants, so why be mad at anybody when life is going good? But during all the beef with Uzi, Jack Harlow utilized the beef to gain some attention and even sneak diss Uzi on his music video with Cole Bennett and Lyrical Lemonade called What's Poppin', that at this point has also earned its spot in the lineup of trending TikTok songs. What's Poppin' has over 80 million streams on Spotify, and his recent album that dropped on the same day as Uzi, Blueface, and Rich the Kid sold almost 20k units first week, which is a huge W for the up-and-coming artist. Last but not least, the honorable mention goes to Kid Leroy, who has just recently sprung into the game with his Lyrical Lemonade music video debut and collab with Lil Tecca named Diva. Leroy is signed to the same label as Juice WRLD and in my opinion is following the same footsteps as a hip-hop version of Justin Bieber, or like a Post Malone wave where he's just skirting the outside of rapping with hip-hop beats but is mostly singing, so can be considered pop by most average listeners. At 16 years old, Kid Leroy has one of the brightest futures out of any of the artists on this list, and I could see him dropping hit after hit with his talent and label behind him, as well as being very strategic with his songs, such as his recent single called Addison Rae, who, if you didn't know, is one of the most popular TikTok stars and actually promoted the single with a little dance and easily jump-started its streaming success. He might be too new in the game to be on the freshman list, however, if he doesn't make it this year, I see him being way too big for next year's, so it's really XXL's only chance to scoop this kid up. So with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off, already writing my diss track to XXL if they don't choose me to be on the list, because yesterday I just accidentally slept with one of the executives' cats, and that's why they're not choosing me. Let me know in the comments who y'all would add or take off on my prediction list. Make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it, as well as to keep up to date with me on all my socials in the description if you with it. Peace out, credit people. Know what I'm saying?